I want to talk to you about some of the practical reasons that you need to learn about mysticism. Mystical, that which exists beyond what we know how to imagine. Everything in science has always been introduced into a world that didn't believe in it before. There's this relationship between known reality and expanding reality, and on the edge is a confusing and often terrifying dialogue between learning and mistake. The sense that we can't trust something that's beyond our scope of influence because it might not be there, like stepping onto a mirage in a river and sinking. That's the best metaphor I know to explain what it feels like to try to trust something that doesn't exist yet. I am encouraging you to trust in the existence of energetics. I often feel tired with myself when I listen to the words that I use because I'm using the same phrases over and over again, and part of me doesn't feel like I'm getting through. So I'm going to try something a little more profound. We have the capacity to be supernatural, mystical Jedi beings. It's built into what we are. It's always been built into what we are. The reason we don't do this is because we don't know how to manage the forces. It is actually not very difficult to turn on some of these capacities. It's difficult to turn them off. It's difficult to turn them down when they get too loud. It's counterintuitive at first, but realistically, our system knows what it's capable of. Parts of our consciousness are entirely aware of what we're able to do in this life. And we won't let ourselves go there. It's like a circuit breaker that says, don't pass this point. Don't pass it because you're going to fry yourself. You're going to have so many thoughts in your head that you can't think clearly. You're going to have so much energy flowing through your system that the pain of a loss you thought you were over will devastate you. Because that's how it works. When energy wakes up in our bodies, it floods through our system and it feeds everything. For this moment, think of it like blood. Blood will feed cancer. Blood feeds everything that's alive, every living cell. When new energy floods through our system, every aspect of what it is to be you that's resonant in your body activates at the same increase in power that energy brings. That's why we don't do it. And that's why lives become dull. Because when we hit our thresholds of pain, we're going through our life, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then boom, we hit a pain threshold. Boom. We say, don't go that far again. Don't go that far again. It's too painful. But what we've really done is we've restricted how high we can get. We've restricted how intense we can get. When you put this threshold in, you're saying nothing is going to get this high. The passion dies when we try to turn the pain off. And the only way to live with it with true depth of intensity is to be willing to not allow the worst feelings and the worst experiences to dominate what we do. It's a more subtle transition than you might think. I'm not saying be a glutton for punishment. I'm saying when you hit those pain thresholds, change your relationship to it. Say, maybe I've got to come into this more gracefully. Maybe I need more support when I go into this. The support that can come is learning. Is learning how to navigate a curve with more grace. Is learning how to anticipate a curve so you come into it with more care, less speed, and accelerate as you turn through it rather than before you enter it. These metaphors are very relevant for what it's like to live. And without a critical understanding of what's happening, the most consistent reaction I see is that intensity hits here It hurts. We turn it off. And everything in life dulls. And when life dulls, we're struggling to keep down forces that are difficult. And that struggle, like this struggle, this is me. This is me. I'm feeding both of these forces. And all of this energy in opposition is lost. It's a wash. We don't have it to work with. So you can be blessed to learn how to get in to the dynamics of what it is for you to be alive and change the programs, make new choices, because all of these choices exist. They exist within us. Choices you thought were over, like how you resolved the first devastating breakup you went through as a teenager, still live in your body. If you took that curve like this and stopped it like this, every time those energies come through your system, you're doing the same thing until you change it. Wildflower fire, just to begin, helps you get into these choices. Change them and reclaim this power. And then we have to identify where you're going to go, what you're going to create. Because you're going to wake up so much energy that you need to feed the most amazing dreams in order to survive. And that's what I want you to go for. Need your dreams. Need your best. Need it. Need it. You've got to need it. When you need it, you'll know what it feels like to have a life force that won't be stopped. You learn to turn. You learn to adjust and move around challenges that used to stop you. And this applies to everyone. So even if you have not thought of yourself as mystical, I assure you that whatever you're doing, if you can open to some of these attitudes, you will be able to develop a better life.